Hi everyone, welcome. I was in Cole's bookstore, found this little number put out by Chartwell Books. Nice box, drawn to it simply because of this. And then I had the store lady open up and see the cards to make sure it was suitable for showing on YouTube. This is sort of a almost unboxing. I want to give the effect of an unboxing, but I have gone through the cards and had to apply a little washi tape here and there. But you've probably read that by now. I found it interesting that it said, contrary to what we see in pop culture, reading tarot cards has nothing to do with seeing the future or fortune telling. Instead, tarot is a tool for self-evaluation and an opportunity for insight. And I must say, I see it as both. So let's dig in and see what this is about. The box is a little bit tricky, even though it has thumb holes to get into. But once you're in, you get the lovely image again, and it is a good size book. There are some great defining spreads in the back. You do get color for the cards. Some of the cards are a little pippish, but you will see a nod to Pamela Coleman Smith and some of the images. Really delightful. And we'll do one of the spreads just to see what it looks like on the cloth on the end of the video. So if you were to open it up, you might see something similar to this. I must say I really like the fact that these are not just white or cellophane, that they did a nod to the four elements here. You've got the finger holes for opening it, and what's not to like so far? Well, let's dig in. Easy to get out of the box with those thumb holes. Will it look nice on the shelf? Yes, I think so. Now, these just slide right off. There's only a small amount of washi tape that has been added. Most of the cards are quite acceptable. So let me get them in order here again, and I'll get back to you. What I did notice as well is another deck came to mind when I was going through this. It is quite different than this, yes, but it did come to mind, so I wanted to put it out there. Now, this cardstock compared to it, this is far better. You do have some spring to this, and it is a beautiful back. The deck I'm thinking of is an older one that is the Tarot Basics, and it has a great book in here, but I was never thrilled by the imagery, and the cardstock was not superb, and it certainly didn't compare to the cardstock of this. But some of the cards in here, when I take you through these, might just, you might just feel that this is a little bit similar, but I want you to look at the images and appreciate the artwork in here as well. Not poo-pooing the artwork in here, but it didn't sit well with me. I can appreciate some of the mood that was created by the colors in here, definitely. So I'm thinking of Simon from the Hermit's Cave. Simon, if you like this, you might really like this. Don't know, but we'll see. So here we go with our little walkthrough. The Fool. It does have a sheen, you can see that right off the bat, but I do like the font being this size. And you will notice in this deck, I think, that some of the facial images and bodies are more mature than normal. Nice to see. This is another one where the background really adds to the mood. We don't have the Roman numerals so much in the smaller suits, the minors. Now this one was interesting for me because, I've got it out of order here. I was studying this, that it's interesting that the curtain appears behind the Empress. She seems to be missing her book. I guess the knowledge is within her, and the Empress is actually nurturing and working towards, I think, something more fated, destiny, because you got the stars above her head here. So she's not wearing the crown, but she has her own crown. And it just, it allows, this deck allows me to really dive into the intuitiveness. So I'm liking that a lot. Here's another figure. The 4 seems a little bit older. Really like the idea of all the coins at the feet, all the knowledge that has been gained, and still looking up. A little washi tape here for the lovers, dancing in the moon and the stars. I like the energy of the line work behind the chariot here. Adds to the speed. Now it did say in the book, and I've seen this before, that 0 to 7 in the majors was the material world, and now we're hitting into the emotional self and finding those strengths within. I'm quite thrilled with this artwork. I guess I would explain it as sort of magically delicious. Our Justice card. And the Hanged Man. Now you don't necessarily get to see the bar of the tree going across in this one, but you get the idea. Like the Death card, for me, because I'm studying Santa Muerte, I like the idea that, you know, these are past and the green growth coming is the future. Really nice. Temperance. The Devil. And this, I guess, is introducing the fire element. We don't get the people falling from the tower, but, and it's not, it doesn't have that lightning bolt. I kind of like the lightning bolt to show that it's breaking apart. The Star. So we don't have the 2 pillars. But this is a really nice sun card. I mean, if you don't like the little horse and boy, this is just energy. And then we have Judgment. And the World, even though she's covering herself, I gave her a tad bit of washi tape. I like how her hair is tossed up. Still have the laurel wreath. And let's move on to the minors. So let's just put them out maybe this way so you can get a good idea of what they look like. This one in particular was interesting in that the pathway leads to that gateway to the other, and it almost looks like a horseshoe upside down. So, you know, I always put the horseshoe upright on my home to keep the luck in. So this, you know, it just plays with the mind, this deck. It's really fun. The 3 here, you don't get to see the artist or the artisan at work, but it's all there. Now, I did want to point out that, yeah, you don't have the person working at the bench in this, but you still have his hands and his tools. And with this one, I wanted to look this one up because it seems like almost a happy card there, but I'm sure that they've got some different undertones to it. So let's see what's in the book for that one. Okay, there we go. Five of coins. All right. So let's hold this one up. And it says, when the Five of Pentacles appears, watch out for devastating financial loss. A loss of a job or even a home creates a lack of security for the future. In this case, we tend to focus on scarcity mindset, and we concentrate so much on what we don't have that we can't think about the things we want and need. This is a card of loneliness as well, brought on by destitution and a spiritual dark night of the soul. Nice. This is what I'm talking about here. I love the numbers that they put down here. It makes it so much easier. Now, in the book, it does give reversals. So if this was to appear for you in reverse, it could be suggesting hard times are coming to an end. There may be charity to help out, or friends lending a helping hand, or even a new job allowing you to get back on your feet. It's a card of hopefulness, showing us life truly is worth living and that our happiness isn't defined by the size of our bank accounts. In many cases, it can lead to a renewed interest in our spiritual growth and development. Liking that. So you do get a good section on reversals in here. Really nice. I did like the fact that on the 9, you have the woman's hand with the, I call it a falcon on top. So it's not totally pippish. And then we're going to go into the quartz. And you do have different directions that they face. And we'll swing after that to the swords here. Now, I was liking the fact that the Two of Swords still has this, nod to Pamela Coleman Smith with the blindfold. That's kind of neat. The Three of Swords isn't that dire. But then you do get some pippish ones. And then when you go into this one, the Six of Swords, you've got the boat. Our page, knight, queen, king. And I liked the idea of the different directions that they all face. I thought that was kind of nice. So he's looking at the past, as is he, and he's racing. And you do see the queen looking forward to the future, and the king, more looking at us. Very simple faces. Okay, and we're into the wands. Kind of like that. There's your 5, a little bit of conflict or working it out with others. The 6, you have the victory. News. I liked this one too, with a little bit of the hand. Some of the images go off the borders a little bit. Our page, knight, queen and king, and into our aces. There's another one I wanted to look up, this 4 of Cups. So let's see what it says. And then I'll show you the cup situation in the book. Okay, I'm going to look at the 4 of Cups, yes, but I wanted to show you that. The meaning in the Ace of Cups is the exact same meaning in the 2 of Cups. So you're going to have to deal with that. And if you know your tarot, that's okay. But the 4... let's look at it. Here we are, over here. So our 4 of Cups. It's time to put things on hold for a little while. The 4 of Cups is associated with a period of inactivity and dormancy. If you're feeling a lack of motivation, it may be time for some soul searching. And then it also goes into a little bit more, plus some more reversal. This card can mean it's time to wrap up your period of reflection and withdrawal and finally move forward. Yeah, get out from under the tree and get boogieing. Okay. So you still got the spilt liquids there. I really liked this one in that you still have, when you think of the Eight of Cups and he's walking away or she's walking away and there's the mountains all around and the moon. So a little nod there to the mountains. Our page. Pretty nice king, and I like the little boat in the background. You don't have the two, but you have the one. So I'm just going to shuffle, and we'll lay it out in the spread that caught my eye at the back of the book. Now, how does it shuffle? Overhand, quite nice. No problems at all. And it is quite a chunky deck. Can you fan it? Yes, I think you can, but hang on, let's do a little bit of this action. Pretty good. And I think it will hold up quite nicely. And will it fan? Not too bad. And as Selena does, she goes, ooh. It does it. So hang on a second, I'll shuffle a few more times. Now the spread I thought I would lay out is the 5-card layout here, where you start and rotate around, but you're creating the pentagram as well. Gives you some information about the pentagram there. But what's nice is you can then track, each card as you go around, and it's giving you number 1, keeping grounded. Number 2, the winds of influence. 3, the ultimate destroyer. Water, and then spirit at the top. And when you get this one, it really asks you to, at the top center is the card of spirit. Yes, this card represents the whole self and the culmination of your journey and the total of what all the other cards embody. Examine the previous 4 cards to see what they reveal, not individually, but as an entire message. And then a couple questions. How do they add up to the present sum of spirit? How will things be resolved if you stay on your current path? What will the end result of all combined bring you? All right, so let's just lay them out so you can see. Not perfectly shuffled, not even blessed. And I can see I gotta move out, so hang tight. So I think you can see it's got that nice look to it. I like how that appears on a cloth. And if somebody came to have a reading, pretty darn cool. And if I go back to, find it here, our 5-card layout. So we would turn number 1 over first. And I'll adjust the camera in a second. But you can see how nice it's going to look. We got too many majors here. It hasn't been shuffled properly. But there you go. So I think it's a great deck for $20 whole. And it is going to give you some help walking through the spreads. It is a good card stock. It feels great in the hand, and it looks good on the cloth. So everyone, if you haven't seen this deck, this is my chance to show it to you and just say that, give it a chance, because I think it is pretty darn gorgeous. Have a wonderful day.